Hello and welcome back after an incredibly long hiatus to Now That's What I Call Bullshit, a podcast about the Now That's What I Call music compilations. I'm Kathryn and this is Dan. Hello.
I'm surprised you remembered all what the podcast was about.
It just came to me, love. It just came to me. I
It
don't.
snapped right back in
I know, yeah, it's
into character.
like it's I've never left. It's been almost 2 years. Horrendous. Thank you for the people who sent messages and things like that asking us where we were. Being lazy. You
In
were being in a
traffic.
band, in
Yeah,
traffic. A
yeah.
decent amount of it probably was in traffic, actually. It seemed right for our grand return that we return with two guests who are our very close podcasting friends, members of the podcasting juggernaut. It's only Alex and Stu from It'll Be All Right in the 90s. Hi,
Hi
guys.
guys.
Hello, pleasure to be
Hi.
with you
Hi.
again. Lovely to be here.
Oh, we're so pleased to have you, and we are so pleased to, well, I was about to say hear about, but when you sent me the compilation that you guys had decided to do, I was like, oh, wow. So, do you want to chat a little bit about? So, did you decide this together, or did someone go, we need to do this one? What was the thought process behind selection before you tell us what the selection is?
I th-
Stu, you sent this to me, didn't you? You said this was your idea, and I was all for it, 100%
yeah,
in.
yeah. I had a look at the available options, and I mean, to be frank, this one does contain one of my favorite songs of all time, which we will get to. And it's one of the songs that sort of cast me down the rock music road, really, that eased the transition from pop to rock. So yeah, it had to be this one. It had to be this one, and I'm really pleased that nobody's discussed it on your pod before, and that we got first dibs on it. So really looking forward
Well,
to this.
I'm quite surprised because it's a good one. It's a biggie. So, do you want to tell us which compilation you have chosen?
We have gone for Now That's What I Call Music 43 from 1999.
Yeah, it's the summer, July 19th. It's the summer now. That's what I call. And I always feel like when we do these podcasts, you notice that the summer ones often have the biggest bangers in there, possibly just because at that time of year everyone's out listening to music. But actually, I don't know if we've had this conversation before, but Now 44, the one that came after, so the Christmas of 1999, is the biggest single selling Now compilation ever.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That says a lot about 99, I guess, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And I can kind of see why that, like, I know we're not doing Now 44, but that it would be maybe one that people have bought a lot as Christmas presents and stuff like that. Because they're like, oh, it's the last one of the 90s. But we're going to talk about the second last one of the
It's
90s.
because everyone thought the world was going to end. They're probably
Or
like, oh, what the
maybe
hell? I might as well get one more
Now
Yeah.
compilation.
compilation before all the planes start dropping out of the sky and satellites like fall out of the sky and everything blows
Yeah.
up. And
Carlos
then
Rota had
it
loads of
happened.
these in his Argentinian monastery. There's a football joke there, but
I don't know why I'm laughing because I do not understand football-based jokes. So, one of the things we were talking about before we started recording is kind of like the slight differences in ages between us and how it makes us kind of respond to these compilations.
Or not.
Um, well, or not. Dan, do you want to talk a little bit about that before we get into the compilation itself?
I just have no idea what any of these songs are. I really don't. I must know. There's 19 songs on it, is there? Or
No, it's two. It's now that's what I call music. There's two discs. There's 40
so there's
songs on
two.
it,
There's
sweetheart.
four. There's what?
No,
48 songs on it.
can I tell right, Alex and Stu? He hasn't looked at disc two. He's going to look at disc two and no loads on it because
Yeah.
disc two
Yeah.
is always the alternative disc, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I still don't know much. I
Scroll
know
down,
some of the
Dan.
bands, but I don't know the songs.
So we're all just looking forward to Dan going,
Well,
I don't fucking
I,
know.
I'm gonna have very little to say, except
come with us,
no
Stan,
idea.
and let us educate you. Let us educate you.
Yeah,
Let
this
people
is
born in
gonna.
the 80s educate you.
I was like, Masters at Work. Did they do From the Land Down Under? No. Alice DJ, was she in Chumbawamba? No. I don't know that James song. Never heard that Stereophonic song. I don't even know that Cast song.
Right, you're getting
I don't
ahead of
know.
yourself.
I don't know any of it. I
Dan
know who
doesn't
they are,
know.
but I've never heard the songs.
But don't worry, because you're here to tell us lots of stories about what it was like to be
They
in the
say,
music
yeah.
industry in the
Well, they
late
say
90s.
if you couldn't, you weren't in the 90s, if you can remember the 90s, and I think this podcast might just be proof of the pudding.
I won't say exactly what Dan said to me, Stu and Alex before we started this, but there's a reason Dan can't remember much of the 90s, but we'll leave it at that. We won't repeat it unless you can find a euphemistic way of saying it. Right, so we are going to get started with Now 43, which is the summer of 1999. What a time to be alive, everyone. There are a few songs on here that, well, one in particular, which I know we'll get to, that sort of reflect that sort of like millennial time and the way that millennial-ish time, the time of the millennium. And people were actually scared, right?
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
we were all
absolutely.
young,
Yeah.
so we maybe don't remember it, but everyone literally thought, as Dan said, that planes were going to fall out the sky.
I briefly did it, like the first year of a psychology degree in the 90s, and stopped paying my student loan off because I thought, oh, the Millennium Bug's going to wipe it out. And then didn't pay them for, I think about, didn't pay them from like 1999 till about 2006, when my mother grassed me up and some bailiffs found me in New York and were going to like chuck all my furniture out in the street if I didn't pay off my student loan that I thought was going to get wiped out by the Millennium Bug. So
Why did your mum turn you in? That's the question that has to be asked here,
she told
surely.
them she's just by the book, my mother. She told them I was living in New York and give them my address. And by that time, they'd sent me, like, every letter they'd sent me for 6 years cost 12 quid. But I was making loads of money in New York, so it didn't matter, I just paid it off.
I can't believe the bailiffs found you in New York. How does that work? Did they
They
get a
sold
flight
on the
over?
debt. Student loans sold the debt to a company in New York that were pretty aggy. That
that's
sounded
kinda
like the broke
scary.
knees. Yeah.
Well, listen, I will say another thing when talking about student debt. Really sorry to anyone who went to university after a certain point, because talk about student debt. So you shush, because it was probably about £350.
It was originally £2,000. I bought a guitar amp, a stereo, and like some vinyl and some CDs probably, and then dropped out.
Well, lucky for, as I say, lucky for some, because some people's student debt is a little bit more than that. Right, anyway, we need to get on with this. We've got lightly political already. Okay, so Stu, you're going to have to start us off, because you gave such a rousing speech about a song contained on this compilation. So we're going to start with the best tracks on Now 43. So Stu, take it away.
Okay, well, I'll go in big with my favourite, if you like, straight
Please
away.
do.
Yeah, seeing as it has already been primed, because Dan has mentioned it in passing.
Oh.
Yes, it is side two, disc 2, track 13, Pick Apart That's New by Stereophonics. So this was, I should say, my first favourite rock song. I think I saw the video for it on the Ozone, or maybe a behind the scenes clip of the Ozone, Sunday afternoon, Sunday lunchtime. Is that right?
That has just come back to me. Jane Middlemiss.
Yeah, Jane Middlemiss.
Jamie
who else?
Theakston, did
Jamie
he do it?
Theakston, that's right. I was going to say Chris
Theakston.
Jarvis then, but
Or Toby
yes.
Anstis. I reckon Toby Anstis might have had a go on it as well.
Toby Anstis must have done it at some point. Yeah, do you know, that was like a recovered memory, that.
Yeah, no, the Ozone, big time. So they had a behind the scenes report from the video shoot, which was on location in Turin, because for the video they did a pastiche of the Italian Job, which as an 11-year-old was one of my favorite movies of the time as well. I really loved The Italian Job. I was really into it, and this song came along which had that in the video, and I really liked the song as well. So those two things married up, and Pick Apart This New became my favorite Stereophonics song. Stereophonics became my favorite band at the time. They still very dear to me now. They've got a new album coming out later on this year, which I'm quite pleased about and excited about. Seen them live numerous times. I know they're maybe not the coolest band that you can be into these days, but certainly at that time, that second album, Performance and Cocktails.
Cocktails.
Yeah, they were right in their pomp. There so many great tracks on that album, and yeah, Pick Apart That's New was the song that really made me, like I say, put pop aside and start to go down the rock and indie route as my favorite type of music. So I'm very, very glad that this turned up on this compilation, which I'd already thought, yes, this is the one to discuss before. Then looking further down the second side and seeing that Pick Apart This New was on there. So really pleased it's on here, and no better place to start for me.
Amazing. Oh, how are we going to top that now? Alex, you're going to have to try and top that now.
I
Because it
can't
is
top
like
that.
Performance and Cocktails. I remember like having the CD. It's a great album. Yeah, the first album was really good as well. And I can't think what it's called, but it had 1,000 trees on it.
That's right. The first album's called Word Gets Around.
Thank you.
And that
would have bugged me if you hadn't told me. I know
Yeah,
loads
thanks.
of listeners would be sat going, "Word gets around, word gets around." Oh, that was a lovely start, Alex. Have a go.
Well, yeah, I can't compete with that because there's no Limp Bizkit on here, so I can't wax quite as lyrically as Stu just has. But it doesn't have a song by my favorite band or my favorite song, but it does have my favorite boy band song ever. And this is, I think, track 3, unless I'm looking at the wrong list, but
You're
it
100% right. Stolen my
it-
thunder, Alex.
I thought at least one other person was going to choose this because it's I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys. As I say, my favorite boy band song ever, one of my favorite pop songs ever. I just think it's perfect. I think it's a perfect pop song, and yeah,
Agree.
it's got everything you want. It's got everything you want in exactly the right places. So it's catchy. It's got melodies. It's got great harmonies. The key changes in the right place. And this is something that I think is really underrated in a good pop song is that all the vocal flourishes are in just the right places. And people will know hopefully what I mean by this, but yeah, just all the little flourishes, all the little harmonies that individual members are doing at different points. And I just think they just hits all the right notes. And the only downside is the lyrics are a bit odd or nonsensical, to be honest. Like that main line.
As we may have discussed at some point in the past, so is Umbop, and that doesn't stop us
Yeah,
loving it.
that's true.
So
Yeah, that's true.
you don't necessarily need it.
No, bubblegum pop is a genre, or is it bubblegum pop? Maybe it's not bubblegum pop, but this sort of pop ballad is not something where the lyrics need to be amazing. But yeah, the main lyric, I never want to hear you say, I want it that way, hadn't really occurred to me how little sense that makes until I listened to it a lot for this episode and sort of read up on it. Yeah, the lyrics are a bit wishy-washy.
But it doesn't make any sense. The lyrics literally go, "You are my fire, my one desire." I'm going to have to sing it. I want desire. Believe when I say I want it that way. So he's allowed to say it, but she's not.
Yeah, yeah.
Or he is not. Sorry, I've just made some very heteronormative assumptions there. What are you going on about the Backstreet Boys?
Yeah, it's odd. It's an odd lyric, but you put that aside because you're just so lost in the melodies and the harmonies. And yeah, I've listened to it a lot in preparation for this episode. I've convinced myself that I need to keep listening to it just for research, but in honesty, it's just because I love it.
It's a banger. I love it as well. You and I always fall down on that side when it comes to pop music, Alex, I feel like.
Yeah, I think so.
Because
I
I
was
love
just
it as well.
thinking, Alex actually has a favourite boy band song.
It's true, don't you?
Well,
You
I
should
do
have.
actually. When I thought about it, it's "Stay Another Day"
Yeah, I
by
was gonna say.
17.
It's got.
Yeah,
one,
Alex
isn't
is about to pull you up there and go, "Well, actually, Dad, I think you'll find."
So, do you two have a favourite boy band song then? Does everyone have a favourite boy band song? Because I was
This-
thinking, when Alex said it, I was thinking, that's a bit odd to have and then I thought, oh, hold on, I've got one.
Pray by
If I've got one,
easy,
you two
easy.
must have one.
Oh,
What's yours?
Stu!
What is it? What is yours?
Pray by Take That. Easy.
I'm so torn between Stu and Alex's choices here. Because I love both. They are both such good pop songs. Such good pop songs. I mean, I
Yours
know
will
that I
be a
want it
Take
way.
That, Kathryn. It's bound to be. You love Take That.
I do, but
What's your
I'm
favourite boy
partial-
band song? Mbop. They're a boy band, aren't they? Hanson.
Well, but not in the truest sense because they all played instruments.
Yeah, they don't dance and sort of grab their crotch.
They were a family band as well, weren't they? Which is a slightly
Yeah.
different thing.
Slightly
what's
more
your favourite
sinister.
boy
I was about
band
to say a
song,
slightly
Kathryn?
more sinister thing, but I don't think it is. I would honestly be really struggle.
What's your
A
favourite
Wham,
Take That song?
A Wham,
Oh,
no,
is a
because a
Wham a boy
Wham
band?
classed as a boy band. Because if Wham are classed as a boy band, we're done and dusted
Is
over
there enough
here.
of them? There's only two of them.
And there's a duo, I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah, it's a duo.
Oh
I mean,
God.
this
Boy
is a Venn
band
diagram, isn't it? I
do
guess.
have to do synchronized dancing and sort of grabbing their crotch a lot
Do they?
when
Yeah,
they
So
sing.
they've got to
we're
Yeah,
talking
stand up.
about that. We're talking specifically then about that early Boyzone appearance on that Irish chat show, aren't we?
yeah.
With the synchronized dancing and the crotch grabbing.
People that either wear brogues and bootcut jeans, or like workman boots and really baggy jeans slung low.
Yeah, yeah.
But speaking of boy bands, just to bring it back to this conversation about this compilation, boy bands were massive in the 90s, and just looking at this, there doesn't seem to be that much. We've got a Backstreet Boys, a Boyzone, and from what I can see, someone correct me if I'm wrong, a 911. And that's it. And they were sort of like second rate to like the Take That's and the Boyzones and the Backstreet Boys and stuff, weren't they?
So is this the
Um,
death knell, the death throes of boy bands then?
well, I think there's more interesting, well, bad, interesting, but not so great things coming in on the pop music scene. But in terms of if you, how do I choose between I Want It That Way and Pray? I don't know. I can't. It's like Sophie's Choice over here. But Alex, I can't agree with you enough about I Want It That Way, and I do want to tell a little story because I knew this was going to come up. That I once played this song to Dan, and he said it was and I quote, something along the lines of, he said a boring standard pop song, and I was like, you have no heart, no ears, and divorce.
I do like the Weird Al Yankovic version. I bought on eBay. Tell me why I want to buy a tea tray.
That is very
I
funny.
got on eBay.
So you know the tune. You know the tune's decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, those lyrics
Well-
actually make more sense than the original release. They're better.
I know, but it doesn't have the beautiful harmonies, and it doesn't have that great key change where he's like, "Don't want to hear you say," but in tune, obviously. So, Alex, like, didn't quite beat Stu on that one, but you came very close. Well done for an impassioned best song. Dan, do you want to have a go?
Oh, it's like
Or are you
flipping a
gonna
coin. I only know, like, I think I know four of them. I do love Coffee and TV by Blur.
Yeah.
I love Graham Coxon's guitar. And it's the sort of Graham Coxon-y area of Blur that I really like best. So I'll have to go Coffee and TV, and it had a great little video with two milk cartons in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That was like, for some reason there must have been some sort of music television that was still hanging on in, because I managed to see the video quite a lot.
MTV must have still been massive at that point, because Alex, when you were talking about the Backstreet Boys, and I remember that video really well, and then
Yeah.
Blink-182 ripped it off for laughs
Yeah.
a few years later. But Stu, you've mentioned the Stereophonics video as well, so MTV must have been quite big at that point, right?
Yeah, it must have been. Pre
Yeah.
2000, Jeff. For
It wasn't
sure.
just showing like shows about pregnant teens and like weird.
I
sort of
feel like
reality
that
shows
came,
at that
I
point.
feel like that real reality boom came through in the early noughts, didn't it? If this compilation's anything to be judged by, we're still dealing with soap stars at this point in the proceedings. So I am struggling here because there is not in a bad way, in a good way, because there's a few songs that I really enjoy on here. I really love Fats and Small Turnaround, which I think is just like a dead boppy little dance tune. I know it's not like the best dance tune or anything, but I think it was probably because of like the age I was, and it was 1999 and I was going out, that song was around a lot. So like there's probably some great memories attached to that I probably can't access because I was drunk. New Radicals, You Get What You Give. I know we've spoke about this song before, and Dan's gonna now like rail in and start telling us about how it's all about money and things like that, and he refused to tour and stuff, which I believe he told on your podcast about One Hit Wonders. Do you want to say anything about the New Radicals, Dan, or you feel like you're done
It
with
was
that?
all pervasive at that time. You could not, in America anyway, you could not escape that song. It was on in every pub, on every radio station. It was just
It was on a Joe
ubiquitous.
Biden's inauguration. It's still going strong.
Yeah, it was everywhere. It was absolutely everywhere.
So I'm actually going to go for something that is weirdly, where now we've put it, would suggest that it's a weaker song. I do question its involvement in this, and I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. But it's Masters at Work, To Be in Love, which is like sort of turned up a lot in like the late 90s, early noughts on all of those Ministry of Sound compilations, to not to name check another compilation beyond now. But it's like a really sort of cool summer groove dance tune, but it's not really a dance tune because you wouldn't dance to it. It's just a really cool song. And I played some of it to Dan, and Dan was like, no, no. Do you two know it?
No.
No.
I don't, I'm afraid. No,
No.
no. And when I've had this playlist on, I've always run out of time a few songs before the end. And this is literally the last song on the second disc, isn't it? So, yeah, I've let you down there, I'm afraid. I'm not
No, you
familiar with this one.
haven't. But again, I think it's because you guys are maybe a few years younger than me, even, that like it wouldn't have got at you at the same way because you were, oh, well, hopefully not out at the bars and clubs quite yet. Because even I was underage at that point. But I wonder why it's there though, is my question. And I wonder if the people who make now, I can't remember, is it Universal? Is it a Universal thing? Also did the Ministry of Sound compilations.
Universal was owned. The Ministry of Sound was owned by Universal because I was signed to Ministry of Sound for a bit in the 90s, or no, the noughties. So
Really?
they owned, yeah, Universal. Universal owned most record labels, like back then. But Universal owned Ministry of Sound, yes, 100%.
Because Ministry of Sound for a while there had all the compilations, clearly had a record label. I didn't know that, but it had bars as well.
Yeah,
You could go to a
Universal
Ministry of
own
Sound
Mercury
bar.
Records. They own loads and loads of record labels, and Ministry of Sound's one of them.
Or I just wonder if it was like a nod to trying to get other people to listen to the compilation, like trying to show the breadth of what music was at that point. I don't know. Does anyone have any thoughts about some of the things that are included on here?
There is loads of dance stuff on there, isn't it? This is clearly
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
yeah.
golden era of, well, of that sort of dance track. So I'm not surprised they've added this on as well at the end. And maybe say it's to get people over to the Ministry of Sound stuff. It's maybe like, sometimes in books, they have a chapter from another book at the end just to sort of, as a taster. Maybe it's a bit like that just to get you sort of, yeah, into that frame of mind and try something new. But there is loads of great dance stuff on here. So
There is a load of great dance stuff on here. Is there anything else that people really, really want to talk about in
You
terms of
can
being
tell there is
brilliant?
because all the credits are people like Kenny Dope Gonzalez, Little Louis Vega. There's a track. It's like semiotic tombola, people picking out words. Cartoons, Doodah, arranged by Shooter, Sponge, and Toonie. Sound like some sort of like gang that you're going to meet in a like a pub in like Wall's End or something.
Well, the cartoons were this. They were like a Scandinavian, and it was sort of rockabilly, wasn't it? Because they had that version of that Witch Doctor song, which was their big one.
Oh,
The,
so
Boom,
you
the sort of
know
boom,
it.
modern
ting,
sound
tang.
of do
Yeah,
do do do. That
yeah,
one, the one that
yeah.
yeah, okay.
And then this must have been the follow up. But yeah, I remember.
Doodah.
Yeah, the main guy was Tooney, and he had like a massive sort of quiff wig
Yes,
thing.
okay, yeah. I
Yeah,
know exactly who
The
you're talking about,
it was
yeah.
almost like a
executive
loofah.
producer
Well, no,
is
because
Kenneth Badger.
Didn't Aqua do Witch Doctor? Oh no, that was Dr. Jones.
Yeah.
Just I went too far there, didn't I? I went too far in the wrong direction. The 90s just sort of came over me there. Yeah, is there anything that anyone would like to mention in terms of some of the best things on there? I know that one song on a compilation like this is pretty unfair.
So there is another one for me that I really wanted to mention, and then there is one that I really like on having listened to it in the last week and having forgotten all about it, which I think is a great song. But I'll go with the one that I wanted to
No,
bring up first.
you do both, Stu. We are
Okay,
not
I
going to
will do.
inhibit you.
I'll try and cover them fairly briefly. So the one that I wanted to talk about was definitely "Bring It All Back" by S Club 7, which again, Alex, you used the term "perfect pop song" for "I Want It That Way," and I'm not disputing that, but I also feel like "Bring It All Back" can fit that mantle as well. And there's a very strong memory. for me of going on a residential trip with school to the Isle of Wight, which was the first time I'd stayed away from home on my own. And when I got back on the Friday, my folks had got me the S Club 7 album on CD, and it was there in my bedroom waiting for me when I got back. And I have a strong memory of that. With there's the cover, they're all like running through a running through
Yes.
some water and splashing in the
Yeah,
water. And
I
yeah,
remember.
yeah, and Bring It All Back is, and I loved the TV show at the time as well that they did, Miami
Yeah, so
7,
they were
and
almost like a monkeys type thing, weren't
yeah,
they?
exactly that. Yeah, yeah,
I'm not going to compare them to the monkeys in the sense that they're not the monkeys, but they were sort of a Simon Fuller thing created for
mm,
a TV show to become the band, right? I'm not
yeah.
imagining that, am I?
No, 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 definitely not. And yeah, they had these TV series on CBBC as well, Miami
Mm.
7, and then I can't remember where the other one, New York 7. It was definitely something else 7, and they'd moved to a different location. But yeah, Bring It
They
All
sound
Back.
like they sound like celebrity trials, like Free the Miami Seven.
Yeah.
Dan's looking deeply confused. You don't remember S Club 7, Bring It All Back.
No,
You
I don't
must
remember the
have heard
TV
it.
show. Don't remember the band. Don't know anything about them.
You're missing out.
Am I?
Okay, Stu,
Well,
what was the other one you wanted to talk about?
very surprisingly, I am a big fan of I Breathe Again by Adam Rickett. I think it's tremendous.
No.
Yeah, I do. I think there's a really, really strong melody in the chorus. I love it. And
Yeah,
I remembered the video because I saw it written down in a track list. I was like, oh yeah. And the video was him like naked in a
In a
perspex
shower.
box, I seem to
Yeah.
recall, in a shower. And that was all I could really remember about it. But then when I
No,
listened
that's
to
all
it,
you need to remember. I feel like.
because he was in Coronation Street at the time. That's
Yeah,
right,
and he
or
was
he
very
had been.
famous for his abs, right?
Yes, yeah, 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 yeah. So he, along with Martine McCrutchley, as my dad would call her, are the other two soap opera people on this album. But yeah, the Adam Ricketts song I thought was really strong, I have to say, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
Okay, I cannot believe you said that, but that's absolutely fine. I'm really shocked. I thought that that song was going to come up in a very different way. Alex, anything else you want to chat about before we move on to the worst of the worst?
um, yeah. My honourable mentions, my runners up were "Sweet Like Chocolate" by Shanks and
Yeah,
Bigfoot, which is a massive tune, and yeah, I guess it's sort of UK garage, but
yeah.
with a more sort of poppy, dancey tinge as well, and it's just yeah, it's a great song. And then my third one was the Fatboy Slim song "Right Here, Right Now," which I just think
It's good.
is an
It's a
epic
great
dance
song.
song. I
It's one of
had
the
a
ones
sort of
I know.
yeah. I mean, I had a slightly. I didn't love Fatboy Slim at the time because I didn't like Rockefeller Skank I think that was his first big song, and I found
Yeah.
that kind of a bit obnoxious and irritating. So it sort of put me off him as a whole for a long time. But then when I, with a bit of time, I realized just how epic Right Here, Right Now is. And other song, almost all the other songs he did were amazing. And this is it's such a tune. It's a time and place as well. Really takes me back to the turn of the millennium. It's amazing.
It's got an absolute doozy of a build in it. Like
Mm,
it almost makes your
yeah,
spine leap out of your back when it kicks off as well.
yeah. Yeah, I love it.
On that note, should we quickly talk about the Chemical Brothers' "Hey Boy, Hey Girl" as well, which was another
Yeah,
one, I think, another one that sort of kicked off a dance career that's still going on now. I feel like "Hey Boy, Hey Girl" was a really early Chemical Brothers, right?
yeah, I think so. It was really big at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like, and Alex, you might be able to, that there was an episode of Dawson's Creek where they were at a rave and it was just the same Chemical Brothers song in the background the entire time. And I can't think which one it was. But I
Um,
remember us making a joke about it because they were like, there was like a sofa outside this rave that they were
yeah,
sat
yeah.
on. And there was just the same Chemical Brothers song going again and again and again. So they must have been big if they were being played on repeat on Dawson's Creek
Yeah, yeah,
season
yeah.
4. But it just seems to me that in all of that, seems to be a lot of like British dance coming through in a way
Hmm.
that I don't really think that there was before. The other one I was going to talk about was Basement Jaxx, which again, Dan, you didn't know, and it's literally about the millennium, isn't it?
I did a tour with Basement Jaxx for for months, and I don't know this song.
Like the lyrics are red alert, it's a catastrophe, but don't worry, don't panic, nothing going on but history. It's about the millennium. Amazing.
Right, I don't know it. Maybe they just ditched it after the millennium. I toured with them, so.
Oh, just you two and Basement Jaxx. Right, we need to move on after Dan did that, but it's interesting that the way that when you look at the earlier 90s ones and the ones that we've looked at with you guys and the ones we've looked at other people, like the shift from pop music and Britpop into something else is quite significant, into something a bit more dancey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And maybe even
definitely.
a bit rockier, like with the Stereophonics track. But we might sort of get into some of the things that that were coming through in the late 90s. So Alex, I'm going to start with you. Can you tell us what you think the worst song on this compilation is?
Well, it's already been talked about, albeit
if you say pick
briefly.
apart the Snoo, I'm walking.
Um,
You've already talked
No.
about Dawson's Creek, and I was assured that wouldn't happen, right?
It was a brief mention. Please
It's
stay.
fine. I'll let it go. I'll let it go.
because it's the cartoons. It's Doodah. Because I mean, it's not a surprising choice, and I feel sort of it's a bit boring for saying because it's so obvious, but it's the only track on this compilation that is unlistenable for me. Like, yeah, the first verse of chorus, and I'm on to the next track. But yeah, I feel a bit bad because I was reading up on them, and I think two of the original members died relatively young
One
from
of them's called
cancer.
Shooter. How many people do you know called Shooter that live past 40?
Well, the bloke out of Happy Gilmore, what's his name? Shooter McGavin? That's the only other one I can think of.
I think, yeah, I don't think they died in any sort of violent drive-by way or drugs or anything like that. I think it was cancer.
Because I just looked at this as words, I didn't know what it was. It was just it was almost like a random word salad. I imagined they were some sort of, hardcore druggy, sort of like a happy hardcore thing, because they were called Shooter, Spudge, and Toonie. And it was
No, they're
produced by Kenneth Badger.
But when you actually look at written by, it's it's trad.
So it must be a traditional, like, nursery rhyme from wherever the hell they're from.
It's Camptown Races, isn't it?
yeah.
Oh my
Of
God.
There we go.
I
course.
can't do that.
Right,
Yeah.
well, all of this, I'm sorry, but all of this seems to be completely strengthening Alex's hands. But also, like, when thinking about this, who's like, do you know what'll make a really good single? Camptown Races. We'll call it Doodah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Get in the studio, get that one down, lads. It'll make it up the charts. And here we are. It's number 14 on CD1 of Now That's What I Call 43. So someone did something right.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to argue with that one, Alex, and I don't think anyone's gonna.
No.
Stu.
Yeah, I've got a different one. I didn't really like it then, and having listened to it again, I don't like it now. And there's another Ozone memory attached to this one as well. I
Love
think
it.
it was the Ozone. It might have been a different program, but it's Viva la Radio by Lolly.
Oh, beat me to it. Go on.
I'm sorry about that, but I'm glad we
No, don't
agreed.
worry, there's more. We're fine.
Yeah, so even at the age of, let's see, 1999, 11 or 12, even at that age, I thought it was too much in terms of bubblegum pop, and it still comes over that way now, all these years later. But the memory I have is of somebody who'd written into the Ozone, or someone was on the Ozone, and it was an outside thing that they filmed, talking to the camera about how much they hated Lolly, and it was an affront to music, and everything about her was terrible, and everything she produced was awful. And then they said, well, we've got Lolly here, and they brought her out, and they said, so you can sort of tell her directly. And then this person who was on the program really lent into it, and I did feel sorry for Lolly, I have to say, just standing there while this person just had a real massive go at her about her music and her career.
And
I
she
don't
was
think it's
probably a
something
bloody teenager as well,
exactly
wasn't
that.
she?
Yeah. And I don't think it's something that would go on a music program now. Definitely not. But that's a very strong memory I have of Lolly, and I've not been able to find the clip. I did look, but
Oh,
I've not been able to
bless
find it.
her. I sort of like I didn't. This is one of the songs that flagged for me as well, Stu. And I sort of feel like, yeah, it was no good, but she didn't deserve that. And
No.
again, you would never do it now. It's like that. It's like that scene in TFI Friday where Victoria Beckham had recently given birth and Chris Evans put her on some scales.
Yeah.
Like that
Well,
sort of stuff that now we'd be like, what the fuck?
hmm Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't like the song, but not to the point where I wanted to wag my finger in her face about it. Like, yeah, no.
Lay into the poor girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Society was a bit misogynistic at that point, though. There was loads of stuff on TV like
No.
that. Do you know what I mean?
Society was misogynistic in the 90s. Are
Well,
you
more
suggesting
so.
it's not anymore, love?
It was more so than now. There was like Loaded magazine, Nuts magazine. That guy, what do you call Johnny Boyd,
John
Oh, Johnny Vaughan.
Johnny
Johnny
Vaughan.
Vaughan.
Yeah, you had like Chris Evans was on the telly as well. Sort of like, and James Whale was on the telly. There was like loads of sort of people going, "Come on, love, give us a twirl, switch through, look at that, whoa, whoa," type of thing. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not surprised that they got a teenage girl out and had some guy berate her on telly. It was sort of like what most of those kind of shows did at that time, wasn't it?
Well, this
Well,
ties in
yeah.
very nicely. Thank you very much, Dan, because our next episode is going to be on Loaded and Lads Mags. So listen out for that. It's
Yeah,
maybe it's
available
already
on
come
all
out.
pop platforms.
There was a real laddish culture at that point, wasn't there?
Yeah, yeah,
Massively
definitely.
well, but there was also the sort of culture, like the sort of what was the female version of it? What did they call it?
Ladettes.
Ladette.
Ladettes. Yeah,
Ladettes.
Hmm
yeah.
Yeah, really horrible misogynistic culture that sort of like really celebrated being awful.
It's all of a sudden all the blokes on telly untucked their shirts and did cocaine. I think that was about the height of it. Like, oh, his shirt's not tucked. He's not tucked his shirt in, and he's high on cocaine.
This is why teachers always told us to tuck our shirts in, because
Yeah,
they knew what would happen
Yeah,
if they let
It's
us
a
leave them
slippery
untouched.
slope.
Yeah.
yeah.
and that ties in nicely with the first episode of our new season about beginning our secondary school days, which is now out on all good pod platforms. So
I
please
really
do listen.
hope, Stu, this doesn't age badly because God knows when this episode will come.
Yeah, that's
True,
true.
true.
Just
Yeah,
go
okay.
back and listen to the entire back catalogue if you
Yeah,
haven't
they're all
already,
there.
guys.
They're all there.
I think one of the things that Lolly illustrates for me, along with the Adam Rickett and the Martine McCutcheon and even the Jerry Halliwell in here, is like that super manufactured pop where it's like we will shove anything in a recording studio and put what they produce out. And there was so much of it in the 90s, wasn't there? And in the early
Hmm
noughts, is that literally you could and you would just get anyone to do any old shite and stick it on a CD single and sell it, and people would buy it.
I remember my mum buying a CD single, and it was an actor called Matthew Marsden who'd been in Coronation Street for about 3 months,
Yes, yeah.
and he had a single, and my mum bought it. She must be the only person in the country who did buy it. But
Can
I
I
remember
just
that
say,
being there.
Stu, fact check me, but if I am wrong, Matthew Marsden, and this is stuck in my head because it's the most bizarre thing. Matthew Marsden did a song which I believe was called She's Gone, and it had Destiny's Child on it. Matthew Marsden is what I'm trying to say, a sang with Beyonce, which is why it's stuck in my head.
Wow.
Please feel free to fact check me while I go off about Jerry Halliwell and Mel G. as it
Okay,
is.
I'll look it up. I'm sure you're correct.
I think that again, this is the sort of thing. I think it probably would still happen now. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. That like you are in a band and then you automatically, whether you are the best person in that band or not, get a solo career.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I'm not saying the Jerry Halliwell song is bad. I'm not saying it's good, but Jerry Halliwell was a lot of things, but the woman cannot sing.
It's true.
She
It's true.
can't sing, can she? Yeah, and look at me. And it was fine in the Spice Girls because they had Emma Bunton. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And I feel like Dan said this before, that like when you listen to some of those Spice Girl songs for the Christmas episodes that we did with Alex and Stu, Dan, that like a lot of it's centered around Emma Bunton's vocals, right? And Jerry Halliwell got a line or two to sing. And there was a reason for that.
Yeah, I agree. This was going to be my second choice, so I'm glad you picked it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
As I say, it's not that I think the song is completely horrendous. It's not great, but certainly it's not the worst thing that an ex-member or a member of the Spice Girls has put out. But she can't sing. And she was handed a solo career, like this poor girl Lolly was handed a career based on nothing. And Adam Rickett handed a career for having abs. Marty McCutcheon, I'm going to be a little bit softer on her because I think she could actually sing. The song's
Yeah, I think Perfect Moments. It's okay. It's
insipid,
okay.
innit? But it's fine.
Well, yeah.
But she could sing it.
Hmm.
She got Love Actually off the back of it, surely.
I have an update from Soap Opera Land. If you would
Did I get
like
it right?
at this moment of right. So he released this is Matthew Marsden going back to released his debut single in July 1998, "The Heart's Lone Desire." That's the one my mum bought, and it reached number 13. So clearly not the only one who bought it.
Not just your mum.
Yep, there you go, Gina. You're all right. And he followed with a second single, a cover of "She's Gone" by Hall & Oates, with his label mates Destiny's Child providing backing vocals. And that reached number 24. So there you go.
Jesus.
That is mad.
I cannot believe that there
Absolutely
is
superb.
a planet that we all reside on in which Beyonce did backing vocals for Matthew Marsden.
What soap opera was he from?
Yeah, what soap opera was he from?
So he was actually in a
Sorry?
couple. He was in Emmerdale for 3 months in 1995,
Wait,
and then
Emmerdale Farm.
and then
Beyonce did backing vocals for a dude from Emmerdale Farm. That's like some weird dream. God, I had a dream last night that Beyonce was singing backing vocals for a guy that was in Emmerdale Farm. You mean Benny, the guy with a hat? No, not him. Some other guy with abs.
But he was in Coronation Street for a year. That's his most well-known soap role as a mechanic called Chris Collins. If I'd had made a single where Destiny's Child performed backing vocals, I would bring that up at every conceivable moment that I would be able to bring that
And it only got to number 24.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, it was much. The stuff I did without Beyonce on it was much better. It got to number 13.
I mean, I can't believe that lives rent free in my head, and I'm so glad that I've got it out to other people and it's infected many other people, not just you three, but other people will listen to this and go, damn that Kathryn. Because not only
we love
is she
chart
like,
stats.
Listen, if anyone listening does a pub quiz, that's a good one. You better just hope they haven't listened to this podcast. So the other thing I want to talk about quickly before we let Dan loose on this is also like fellow Spice Girl Melanie G doing a cover of Word Up. Now, come on.
Is it like I'm a lyrical gangster, word up? That?
No, that's not the lyrics. No, it's like literally Word Up. That song. Wow.
That one. I have got my red leather codpiece on, but I'm not going to stand up.
Who sang it originally?
Cameo.
Was that Do Your Thing, Do Your Thing?
Yeah.
So is Mel G the sporty one?
No, she
that's
was
Mel
Mel
C.
B and she got married and she became Mel G for a while there.
So she's the scary one?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Doing
A
Word
slightly
Up. Okay.
better singer than Jerry Halliwell, but a bizarre.
She was more of a dancer, wasn't she?
I don't really know. Like I think she was a better singer. I don't think she was an amazing singer, but she was like I always found her really interesting in the Spice Girls. But I don't. So this must have been when they broke up and they all started releasing their own songs. Because was Look at Me Jerry's first song and Word Up was Mel B's first song, Mel G's first song, right?
I think so.
If I was Mel
Yeah.
C, I'd be really annoyed at Mel B for changing her name to Mel G. It just muddies the waters. Because I thought that was Mel. Because I could remember that Sporty was Mel B, so I just automatically assumed Scary was Mel B, so I automatically assumed that was Sporty.
See, look at the confusion. Confusion reigns. Just leave it alone, lasses. Get on with something else.
Yeah. Like, how are we meant to keep up? Oh, I mean, it's taken me what, 30 years?
Can I just quickly backtrack? And I just want to apologise to Melanie C for saying Emma was the best singer in the Spice Girls when it was clearly
Sporty's pretty
Chelsea.
good singer.
She's a good singer.
She's the one you'd most
Yeah.
like to hang out with as well. Should be good
I think
crack,
so.
I think.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
You reckon, like, definitely Posh and Baby would be high maintenance. Jerry Halliwell would just do your tits in. She's probably a real pain in the arse. And Mel B, I'm not too sure. She might be all right. She's like
She'd be
northern,
good.
isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd be good crack.
So essentially what you're
Two
saying is
Mels.
you'd hang out with the two Northerners.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, one's from Liverpool, right?
Yeah, Mel C. Right, anyway, we've gone on. I can't believe how long we've gone on. Dan, do you want to lay into any songs on this compilation?
I don't know any of the, like, the ones that I would probably hate. I just don't know. I mean, the one I was going to pick on was the cartoons because it was called Doodah and they were called Shooter, Sponge, and Toonie. But then Lolly's arranged by someone called the Duffel Bag Boys, who also sound like gangsters, to be honest.
They were wacky races, weren't they? The Duffel Bag Boys.
Oh no, it's the Duffel Bag Boys! Quick, scram!
Well, I'm glad they found a career after chasing a pigeon. I'm glad that they moved on to bigger things.
Yeah.
Yeah, got themselves a bigger duffel bag once they had chart success with Viva La Radio. I mean, because I don't know any of the songs. The only ones I know are the ones I kind of like. So they're the two. I mean, I know they've already been said, but I really don't know any of the other songs, to be honest.
I actually think, weirdly, this isn't a terrible compilation.
I can
There's
bet
things
you
on
though.
there that I don't think I know. Like, I don't know if you guys remember the Bryan Adams song. I don't.
That's what I was going to say. I could
I'm gonna
wager
hazard
that
a-
that would be
that's not great.
unfiltered horse shit. Like, that would be pure, unmitigated, absolute drivel with sexual undertones about an angel in a cloud or something with him singing about you're an angel in a cloud wearing jeans and it's like something like a thong. And I like it all that long, my angel. It's probably some sort of bullshit like
It's
that.
amazing how bang on he's got it, isn't it, really? It is.
Stu's now going to bring up the lyrics and read some of them out and be like, actually, Dan.
I could do that.
You could sort of tell it's going to be shit. You know what I mean? I mean, Bryan Adams had run out of everything to say by this point.
Well, yeah, because he'd been at that point, he'd had 16 weeks at #1 with Everything I Do It For
And,
You.
well, and
He had
he
to
did one
change
with
it up
Mel.
a bit.
Didn't he do one with Mel C?
See, which actually wasn't terrible. It was called When You're Gone, and it was all right.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay.
Right.
Right, I'll read you the first verse and chorus. It's actually a makeup song, so it's So here
So
we go.
nothing about wearing jeans and a thong on a cloud.
No. But it was all right. So, clue number 1 was when you knocked on my door. Clue number 2 was the look that you wore. That's when I knew it was a pretty good sign that something was wrong up on cloud number 9. Lovely stuff. And there's more moon spoon June stuff here, so I'll read the chorus. And the moon is out and the stars are bright, and whatever comes is going to be all right, because tonight you will be mine up on cloud number 9. There ain't no place I'd rather be, and we can't go back, but you're here with me. The weather is really fine up on cloud number 9.
You actually weren't
Jesus.
a million miles away, Dan.
I tell you what, if he'd not been a rock star, he could have written some decent Valentine's cards for like Hallmark.
So the next one, and I feel like we might have covered this, so I'd be interested to see if anyone's got anything they want to bring to the table here. But is the most out of place, or as we like to call it, what the fuck? Stu, do you have any what the fucks on Now 43?
Yes, I've got one to mention.
Oh,
Disc 1, track 18, Your Kisses a Charity by Culture Club. This is one that
I looked at this one.
Yes, I'd never heard of this before, and it only got to number 25 as a single, so not entirely sure why it's here, I've got to be honest with you. They were obviously past their pomp in 1999 and then
Just a bit.
mid to late 80s band. Maybe on the comeback trail at that point, I'm not sure. But yeah, a number 25 single to be on disc 1 that
Had
seemed
Boy
to pass
George
without
not
trace.
even had a solo career that had been and gone by this time as well?
Probably, yeah.
So what?
I I think that this was probably 15 years after Karma Chameleon. I'm pretty sure that it was Karma Chameleon 1984, because was it not on one of the first nows? And that's kind of why I wonder whether it's there,
But they're like clearing
because they
out the
were
back of the studio and
so.
found an old tape or something. Well, we found it. We've just found a Culture Club song that nobody remembers because they probably thought, "Oh, this is shit. Let's not release it."
No, I bet
So
someone's going to get in touch with us and oh no, Stu's going to tell us there's a story behind it.
they did do a reunion tour in 1998, and that was a major success. So then they did a compilation album with a couple of new songs on it. Oh no, sorry, it was their fifth studio album. Don't Mind If I Do. So this came off the back of that tour, but the success was short-lived. The album only got to number 64, and Your Kiss Is a Charity was the only single from that album. So yeah, there you have it. It was a reunion tour and then a new album off the back of it, which didn't go as well as they'd hoped.
Well, do you know what? I wonder if some things don't change because it seems like obviously reunion tours are still the thing, and but people won't buy any new music.
Yeah. Maybe so. People just want to hear the hits and weren't that bothered about the new album. It's a tale as old as time.
Play the hits and
Hey.
fuck off, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't knock it. Pay for our roof space conversion.
Paid for my bathroom. No, but I think it's true. I thought that we were sort of the first generation, like sort of Gen X and like millennials who loved all of that like reunion stuff, like, and loved the like 25th anniversary of this and the 15th anniversary of this and the 20th anniversary of this, that sort of thing. But maybe this has been going on forever. That's very sort of generationally centric of me, isn't it? Me thinking we were the first ones to do reunion tours, everyone. No, they've been going on for quite some time, apparently. Shockingly, not a new idea, not a new invention, but that like Culture Club, that people would want to go and see Culture Club in the 90s. Of course they would have.
hmm
But yeah, I agree with the deeply out of place nature of it. Anyone else got anything WTFE? Anything?
I mean,
that
I've
they
got
don't
30
understand?
or 35 that I genuinely am. What the fuck is this? What is this? I've no idea what that is.
No, do you know what I'm
Uh,
going to get you to talk about, Dan, is the Chicane song, which I
don't know
don't
it.
think it's WTFE. You do, because we listened to it together, and it is Clana.
Clannad. It's Moya Brennan, in it.
It is.
All right, and it's that thing kind of it's stretched out and put over a dance thing. All right, yeah, it's Clannad. Where is that? What's that one? The Chicane, is it?
Yeah, it's disc 2, track 9. But you said to me, "Is this Clannad?" And I played it to you, but I think you said they'd sped it up.
Yeah, like a Clannad sort of sample with Moya Brennan singing, and yeah, I think it's from. Is it Harry's Game or something? The theme from Harry's Game with a section of that like sped up and then like beats put behind it.
How would
I
we
mean that is what the
describe?
fuck. Like they're like a family band from Donegal that do sort of like they ended up doing this kind of spooky goth folk vocal Irish folk stuff.
hmm
And weirdly my friend was their tour manager. I found out after he died was Kathryn's mum's first boyfriend. He was Paddy was
Was he
Clannad's tour
Clannad's
manager.
tour manager? I
Yeah,
thought he was
yeah.
the Dubliners tour manager.
He was
Um,
Clannad's tour manager, and he had one time they were all flying to it was either Australia or South Africa, and Paddy had all their guitars and got hammered, and he had the band credit card as well, and they all arrived in Australia, and he never made it, and had the band credit card and all the guitars. So Moya, the woman who was singing on this, had to pay for like the whole tour on her credit card, and he got sacked.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Wow. And this one's produced by one of the cartoon's old mates, Ray Madman Hedges.
Yeah. What are like producers all are produced? Do they all have to have some sort of gangster like middle name?
Well, with a name like Ray
Right.
Hedges, you want to zhuzh it up
Suppose,
a bit, don't
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, genuine question. if you are a DJ doing a track, surely you are the producer. How does Chicane need an extra person to produce this track? Like,
No,
what are
just
you
needed a
if you're a
madman.
DJ mixing a track? Do you know what I mean? I just looked at that and I'm like, but how do you need more?
If your name's Ray Hedges, right, and you put Madman in the middle, I bet he's really boring. I bet he's the guy. I bet you when you go into the studio, he's like, "Don't mind me, I'm a bit mad. I'm always doing crazy things, like putting too much sugar in my tea." Woo!
But again, weirdly, we've said this a lot. I feel like this was one of Chicane's first singles, if not the first, it was the second, because there was Sandstorm at a similar time. Is this trance? Would we describe this as trance?
I think so. Yeah, this is the sort of dance music that I liked at this point,
Yeah, I quite liked
and I
it.
think it was trance. Yeah, it's kind of melodic and
Yeah.
housey.
Do you know
I'm no
who's Maya
expert.
Brennan's sister? Enya. She's their little sister, Clannad's little sister.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, they make the same sort of music. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But their dad had a pub in Donegal, Leo Brennan, and it was really great crack. We used to go and drink there. My little sister got up and Irish danced in there once. And Clannad were all there. The kids were all like, there's kids all hung out there.
Brilliant.
Well, there
Yeah.
we go.
I think Enya used to work behind the bar as well.
Well, and then Clannad ended up on a Chicane track, which
Yeah.
is good for them, I suppose. But I don't necessarily think it's out of place or anything. I just wanted to find somewhere to talk about it because when you said I don't know what that is and then I played you, you were like, this is Clannad. Um yeah, so Alex, anything you want to chat about? I think we've covered quite a lot, but I'm open to more
In
suggestions.
terms of what the fuck, no, not really, because I mean, I think now CDs always have quite a range, don't they? And this range, I suppose, at one end of the spectrum, you've got, I don't know, maybe the Stereophonics, or maybe it's like a triangle rather than a line. You've got Stereophonics in one corner, Yamanda with synths and strings in one corner, and then the cartoons in the other corner for the pop. It's like,
At the point.
yeah, the point exactly, the zenith. Um, Yeah, so it would have been the cartoons, but it's not that odd, is it? It's just Euro
Yeah,
dance,
not for that.
trance.
Like after Aqua and things like that, it was probably fairly
Yeah.
standard, right?
Yeah. I mean, you've
Just
also got
hindsight's
uh
2020 in it.
yeah, yeah. You've got Venga Boys in here as well, and that's not a million miles away from the cartoons itself. It's just like
Mm.
Is that boom, 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 let me hear you say
No,
wail?
that's
Because
the
there's
Out
an
Here
extra
Brothers. We've
boom.
had this discussion. No, it's boom,
All right.
boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. It's like proper
Oh, God.
Euro dance, like sort of Two Unlimited by way of Aqua sort of stuff.
Mhm.
Right,
yeah.
okay. Sounds
One of them used to
awful.
wear a sailor's outfit. I remember that.
Oh, Jesus. Say no more.
I don't remember that, but I just remember the Venga Boys really had a moment, and I can't ever understand why they had that. The Venga bus they had. We're going to Ibiza.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, all trash. But that's exactly
Yeah.
what it was. Euro trash, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Stuff you listen to when you're on holiday in Magaluf through a really small radio turned up too loud.
Exactly.
All on
Yeah.
a Now compilation, constantly. Apparently, they all got to #1 from my memory.
Yeah, they were always on top of the pops,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they were very successful.
Really successful, yeah. And it was trash. Um, but so of the time, and that's why I kind of feel like we have to appreciate it. As like, we talk about like these Now compilations, they're such a snapshot. And I think as a part this compilation is such a beautiful snapshot. Do you know what I mean? Of what
Hmm.
was going on in 1999. I don't think that they could have done something better. Because there's a few sort of like outliers, like there's a Beverly Knight track on there, like just randomly.
The Baz Luhrmann one's pretty weird to be on it,
But
right?
it's not, it got to
It,
#1. Alex
it's
can
a
talk
weird
about the Baz
track though, isn't
Luhrmann
it?
track
It's
because
got
me and
Lee
Alex
Perry. Is
probably
Yeah.
got
that Lee
similar.
Scratch Perry, the from the Upsetters?
I
I'm
don't think
not
it's
sure if
him, no.
It's just a Lee Perry, not the Lee
Yeah.
Perry.
no, it's not.
It's
This
an Australian voice actor called Lee Perry. That's
is it?
yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. But I do have a Lee Scratch Perry story myself, which I will take the opportunity to tell.
Yeah, he was a madman.
Seeing as he's come up, so he did an appearance at the Cheese and Grain in Frome, Dan, where
Right.
I think you played towards the end of last year, and an old friend of mine was instrumental in getting him there and became part of the welcoming party. And part of the rider was that he wanted some plywood and some spray cans so that he could do some graffiti like backstage. I think they got like an old door or something, and I remember receiving a picture of this old door that just had the word "shit" sprayed on it in massive letters, and that was Lee Scratch Perry in Frome. There you go, but not this Lee Scratch Perry, the other Lee Scratch Perry.
He burned down his studio because he said the devil lived in it, and then a friend of mine managed another reggae artist called Big Youth, and he got Lee Scratch Perry to do a remix. And he wanted paid in hardcore, not pornography, but like gravel. He got like gravel delivered to a house in Switzerland. That was his payment. He's like, how much do you want for the remix? He was like, I want like 2 tons of hardcore.
2 tons of gravel.
Yeah, 2 tons of gravel delivered to a house in Switzerland. That was his payment. He's a madman.
I think we've got quite off track here.
Yeah, sorry.
So me and Alex are going to talk about this song real quick because I know that me and Alex probably have quite specific feelings about aspects of it but I don't. It's produced by Baz Luhrmann. I feel like we have talked about this song before, and I feel like I've gone, is it Baz Luhrmann? And you went, no, everyone thinks it is, and it isn't.
Yeah, I think we talked about it on our One Hit Wonder episode because it is such a famous one hit wonder from the period. Yeah, it's weird because I think it's credited to Baz Luhrmann because of the choral bit that underpins this track is from his version of Romeo and Juliet. There's a bit where a choir sings
it's when they get married,
free.
Isn't it?
Yeah, Everybody's Free by Rosilla. They do this choral version, and that's in the film, and then that is part of the production for this Sunscreen song. And as Stu said, it's a voice actor that does the vocal, but the lyrics are from I think what is it? It's from it's an essay.
Advice like youth, probably just wasted on the young.
Yeah, it's from an essay written by Mary Schmick. So it's a kind of strange combination of all these different things coming together into what I think is an amazing track. I love this song. It's weird calling it a song, but whatever it is, I love it.
Well, I look like, because obviously you and I are notoriously big fans of the Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet film.
Yeah,
and the soundtrack that goes along with it. But also, Baz Luhrmann's actually credited as the executive producer on this.
I bet you.
Which I'm not sure what that means.
I bet you they lifted a sample from the movie, like a loop from whatever was in the movie. And when they got in touch to clear the MCPS, he's got the biggest lawyers. So he was like, yeah, you can use it, but you have to list me as the executive producer. And I'm taking like X amount of the profit. Along
with my mates, Ray Madman Hedges, Chicane, and Toonie.
Yeah. And Reginald Hatchet Face Smith.
Right, we need to move on because we've been talking for ages. Shocking, eh? Is there anything else that we desperately need to talk about? I actually think we've talked about pretty much about 90% of this compilation at this point. But does anyone have a burning need to talk about anything else before we try and rate this compilation?
Very, very quick shout for 9 p.m. Till I Come by ATB.
Is that the one that goes do 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 do
yeah.
do 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 do?
So I had this, like yourself on the Matthew Marsden thing, I had it in the back of my mind that I'd read somewhere that he wrote the song to demonstrate his kit to a girl that he was taking on a date to like impress her. And I thought that can't be right, but then I looked it up and it actually is correct, and she is the vocalist on the track as well. I'm led to believe. So yeah, 9 p.m. Till I Come is one that I liked at the time and still like now, and I just wanted to make sure it got mentioned.
Well, can I quickly mention then, while we're on massive dance tracks, is the Alice DJ song Better Off Alone. Mm-hmm. I just really like that tune.
It's a tune.
It is, thank you. It is a tune. It's a great dance tune. But I think like this compilation, it's a really interesting one because it's quite English, first of all, isn't it? I feel like in the 90s, we sort of started to move towards like maybe more sort of American, having looked at like 80s through 90s and into the early noughts, like there was a definite move in the 90s and in the 80s to more like international and American. And artists, and it seems to be quite European and British, this one. There's not a huge amount of American, apart from like the big stuff, like the Backstreet Boys. It's like a lot of English
If you look at
dance,
what it says
actually.
for
Yeah.
style, it says house vocal, UK garage, trance, down tempo, Britpop.
There you go. That
A
about
broad
nicely
church.
sums it up. A broad
Yeah.
church indeed. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Thank you for bringing it to the table. It passes vibe checks. So how are we going to rate it? On your own rating between 1 and 10, have at it, everyone. What are we rating this? Stu.
Well, as I say, I looked at this and I looked down the first CD and I thought this is going to be good to talk to the guys about. Then saw the rock stuff on the second disc and Pick Apart This New was in there. So obviously went for it for that reason, but there's so much great pop stuff on the first CD as well. I am going to give this 8 Adam Rickett inner showers out of 10.
Okay. Thank you for selecting our rating. Alex, how many Adam Ricketts in a shower out of 10 are you giving this? Or, if you will, Martine McCutcheon singing at massive mics with flat
Yes.
ironed hair.
Well, I think I could listen to more of this than I mean, I enjoyed more of this than I didn't like, which is probably quite good for a now CD.
Mm.
And there are some genuine bangers and an all timer with I Want It That Way. So I think I'm going to agree with Stu and say eight Adam Ricketts in the shower.
Adam Ricketts in the shower out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Dan, how
I
many?
this isn't made for me, this stuff. I don't know.
Do
I
you
only
think that you can gauge our responses, the three of our responses,
I mean,
and
if I had to rate it from what
generously
I
reward it?
think of it, I would have to give it a 4 surviving brain cells after the 90s out of 10 because I only know about 4 songs that are on it. Like, and if most of it, as I say, is just like a word salad.
You're too
E-
mathematical with your ratings, you. Just, you go with your heart.
My heart has no system of semantic meaning. It's just a bunch of things I've never heard of. I've no frame of reference. I've no frame of reference at all, aside from the glimmers of little things that I know, and there's about 4 of them.
Right, well,
So,
you're not allowed to play anymore then.
well, I'm allowed my opinion, right?
Go on then, you go then.
4 out of 10. I don't
Four
know
brain
half it.
cells.
It
Are
can't
you
be
giving
that
it
great.
four
If
Adam
you
Ricketts
know
in the
what,
shower?
if there, you know what, if there were more like sexy dude in the shower tracks, I surely would have heard of them because I was
I would have thought
alive.
you'd be less likely to have heard of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I was really busy. I think at the time I was playing a lot and traveling a lot, and I didn't see any telly, so I didn't know who the soap stars were, and didn't really listen to the. I was probably just listening to whatever I had in my like CD Walkman or whatever, and that was it.
Mm.
So
Well,
no, I've no frame of reference, so I
okay.
can't.
All right then. Well, I strongly agree with Stu and Alex. The rating in my head was an 8. 8 Adam Ricketts in the shower out of 10 as well. And it's actually one that I might try and hunt out and leave in my car so I can put it on every now and then and like just do some to Alice DJ while driving my car around. It's a great compilation. Thank you so much for bringing it on. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. It's just so great to catch up with you. And thank you to everyone who's listening, who has waited around patiently for us to release another episode. We shall see you again very soon for another round of Now That's What I Call Bullshit. And until then, thank you so much for listening again, and goodbye.